Okay, we need to talk about something that's absolutely crushing Texas homeowners right now. Insurance costs that are completely out of control. We're talking six, seven, even $8,000 a year. And the worst part, most people don't even understand what they're paying for. Texas homeowners are paying between 61 and 117% more than the national average. And with hurricanes hitting the coast, hailstorms destroying neighborhoods, tornadoes ripping through communities, it's creating this perfect storm in the insurance market. When people call Shell Insurance at 972-423-4546, the first thing we hear is pure confusion about what's actually required and what's covered.
Texas homeowners are paying between 61 and 117% more than the national average. And with hurricanes hitting the coast, hailstorms destroying neighborhoods, tornadoes ripping through communities, it's creating this perfect storm in the insurance market. When people call Shell Insurance at 972-423-4546, the first thing we hear is pure confusion about what's actually required and what's covered.
Here's something that surprises everyone. Texas law doesn't actually require you to have homeowners insurance. But if you've got a mortgage, which most people do, your lender's going to require it. And even if you own your home outright, you'd be taking a massive financial risk going without coverage in Texas.
And let's talk about what's happening in the market right now, because it's scary. 4 insurance companies completely pulled out of Texas in 2024. Over 10,000 homeowners suddenly lost their coverage. Rates increased 23% in 2023 alone, highest increase in a decade. From 2019 to 2024, we're looking at a 54% increase overall.
And you know what's driving all of this? Texas weather. We average $10.1 billion disasters every year from 2018 to 2023. Texas leads the entire nation in hail claims, with 1,123 hail events in 2023. Baseball-sized hail that can total your roof, shatter windows, destroy siding.
Here's where homeowners get blindsided. A lot of people think their standard policy covers everything, but that's one of the biggest misconceptions out there. What's actually missing?
Flood damage. Standard policies do not cover flooding. You need a separate flood insurance policy through the National Flood Insurance Program. And for folks living near the coast, windstorm and hail damage is often excluded too. The Texas Windstorm Insurance Association provides coverage for 15 coastal counties as a last resort, but you've got to have been denied by private insurers first.
Wait, so if you live on the Gulf Coast and a hurricane tears your roof off, your standard policy might not cover it?
Exactly what happens. And this is why working with an experienced independent insurance agency like Shell Insurance is so critical. Visit shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. They help Texas homeowners understand exactly what coverage they need based on where they live and what risks they face.
Let's talk about replacement cost versus actual cash value, because this confuses everyone.
Replacement cost means if your home is destroyed, insurance pays what it costs to rebuild at today's prices, no depreciation. Actual cash value factors in depreciation. So if your roof is 15 years old and gets damaged, they deduct for age and wear. You could end up with a fraction of what you need. And here's what's happening in Texas. A lot of policies are switching to actual cash value for roofs over 10 years old. Homeowners facing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 out of pocket because the payout doesn't cover full replacement.
That's brutal. So what should people look for when they review their policies?
Check your declarations page. Make sure your dwelling coverage is based on replacement cost and that it's at least 80% of what it would cost to rebuild your home. And understand your deductible structure. You might have a standard deductible of $1,000, but then a separate wind and hail deductible that's 2 to 5% of your dwelling coverage.
2 to 5%? What does that mean in real dollars?
If you've got $300,000 in dwelling coverage and a 2% wind deductible, that's $6,000 you pay out of pocket before insurance kicks in. Huge difference from a $1,000 deductible. People don't realize this until they file a claim after a hailstorm. This is why it's valuable to work with experts like Shell Insurance. Call them at 972-423-4546. They'll walk you through your policy and make sure you understand exactly what you'll owe if you need to file a claim.
What happens when people can't get coverage through traditional insurers?
If you've been denied by at least 2 private companies, you can apply for the Texas Fair Plan Association, the state's insurer of last resort. But the coverage is way more limited and expensive. Average about $4,250 a year for $300,000 in dwelling coverage. That's 46% higher than the Texas average. And application numbers show how desperate the market's gotten. In 2023, 11,000 policies. In 2024, 41,234 policies.
Those numbers are alarming. What can Texas homeowners do to keep costs down?
Shop around. Rates vary dramatically between carriers. Bundle your home and auto insurance for about 18% savings. Install monitored alarm systems for discounts. Maintain good credit because insurers used credit scores when setting rates. Increase your deductible if you can afford it. And here's something people don't think about. Don't file claims for minor damage if you can pay out of pocket.
Wait, so even if something's covered, you might not want to file a claim?
Every claim gets reported to a CLUE report, Comprehensive Loss Underwriting Exchange. Insurance companies see your claims history for 7 years. Multiple claims can lead to higher premiums or policy cancellation. So if damage costs $1,500 to fix and you've got a $1,000 deductible, paying that $500 yourself might be better than filing a claim that impacts your rates for years.
Let's talk about the confusion around market value versus replacement cost.
Your home's market value and replacement cost are completely different. Market value includes land, location, market conditions. Replacement cost is what it costs to rebuild just the structure. You might have bought a house for $600,000 in Austin, but if $200,000 is land value, you only need $400,000 in dwelling coverage. And this needs reviewing regularly because construction costs change. The team at Shell Insurance stays on top of construction cost trends across Texas and helps make sure your coverage keeps pace. Visit shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. Your home is probably your biggest investment. Make sure it's properly protected.
Houston homeowners are getting hit especially hard, right?
Houston's paying the highest premiums in the state, $6,000 to $6,600 a year. Compare that to El Paso at around $2,400. Houston's exposure to hurricanes and flooding drives that massive difference. And flood insurance is absolutely essential. Average in Texas is about $56 a month, but it varies by location. Takes 30 days to go into effect, so you can't wait until a storm's approaching.
What are some red flags people should watch for with their current policies?
If you get a non-renewal notice, start shopping immediately. As of 2024, companies give 60 days notice. Check if your policy switched from replacement cost to actual cash value without you realizing it. Make sure coverage limits have kept pace with rising construction costs, and verify you don't have surprise exclusions for things you thought were covered.
How often should people review their policies?
At least annually, but really anytime there's a major life change. Renovated your home? Update coverage. Paid off your mortgage? You might adjust coverage levels. Installed a new roof or security system? You might qualify for new discounts. Having an agent who proactively reviews your situation is invaluable. It's not just about getting a policy, it's ongoing guidance and support. Here's what I want everyone listening to do right now. Pull out your homeowner's insurance policy. Look at that declarations page. Check your coverage amounts and deductibles, especially wind and hail. If anything's confusing, call Shell Insurance at 972-423-4546. Have them review it with you. There's no cost for that conversation, and it could save you tens of thousands of dollars if disaster strikes.
And for anyone who's been denied coverage or struggling to find affordable insurance, know you've got options. The Fair Plan exists. TWIA exists for coastal residents. Independent agents like Shell Insurance have access to carriers you might not even know exist. Don't give up.
The Texas insurance market is challenging right now. Prices are high, coverage can be limited, and the situation isn't going to improve dramatically soon. But understanding your options, knowing what you're paying for, and working with professionals who genuinely care about protecting Texas homeowners makes all the difference. Visit shellinsurance.com. That's SCHELL insurance.com. Your home is probably your biggest investment. Make sure it's properly protected.